House of the Dragon Season 3 is still a ways off, but that just gives us more time to prepare for all the bloodshed ahead. If you've read Fire and Blood, you already know that things are only going to get darker, and with only 2 seasons left after this, expect some major deaths in Season 3. From iconic betrayals to devastating losses, let's break down who's most likely to die in Season 3 and how their fate will play out. Let's start with the master manipulator himself. After being dismissed as Hand of the King by Aegon II and retreating to the Reach, Otto has been playing the waiting game, rallying support for the Greens. But by the end of Season 2, he was captured and thrown into a dungeon, something that didn't even happen in the books. So what happens next? Well, in Fire and Blood, Otto is executed when Rhaenyra takes King's Landing, and with how much House of the Dragon has built up his schemes, we can expect a dramatic final confrontation before he meets his fate. Could he try one last desperate manipulation? Could he be executed publicly to send a message? However it happens, Otto isn't making it out of Season 3 alive. The heir to Rhaenyra's throne, and one of the show's most noble characters, is heading straight for one of the most devastating battles in the Dance of the Dragons, known as the Battle of the Gullet. This massive naval battle sees Rhaenyra's forces clashing with the Triarchy, who are attempting to destroy Corlys Velaryon's blockade. Jace and his dragon Vermax join the fight alongside the Dragon Seeds. But despite their best efforts, Jace is ultimately killed in battle. It's a gut-wrenching moment for Rhaenyra losing both her son and one of her strongest allies. Visually, this is going to be one of the most intense battles the show has done. Expect fire, chaos, and heartbreak when Jace and Vermax go down in flames. Arguably, one of the most hated characters in the show is finally meeting his end in Season 3. But how he dies is what makes this moment so satisfying. After capturing Harrenhal, Criston wants to retreat and regroup with the Hightower forces. But Aemond has other plans, torching the Riverlands in an attempt to lure Daemon into battle. This disagreement is the beginning of the end for Cole, and it ultimately leads him straight into an ambush. Criston and his men are surrounded by the Northern Winterwolves and Riverland forces, leading to a brutal massacre known as the Butcher's Ball. Cole is overwhelmed and killed, marking the bloody end of one of the dance's most infamous figures. Expect a cinematic, gruesome sequence that will make fans cheer for his long-awaited downfall. One of the show's most sympathetic characters has been quietly foreshadowing her own fate all throughout Season 2. If you caught her standing near the edge of the Red Keep in the finale, you probably already know what's coming. In Fire and Blood, after the loss of her son Maelor, Helaena falls into deep despair and ultimately takes her own life. However, since the show has cut Maelor from the story, it's unclear what her breaking point will be. Will the stress of the war, the blood and cheese tragedy, or Rhaenyra's invasion of King's Landing push her over the edge? Regardless, her death is inevitable, and it's going to be one of the most heartbreaking moments in Season 3. Fia Saban's performance has been nothing short of phenomenal, so get ready for an emotionally gutting scene when her story reaches its tragic conclusion. We can't talk about Season 3 deaths without mentioning one of the bloodiest and most chaotic moments in the entire war: the storming of the Dragonpit. After Rhaenyra takes King's Landing, the small folk riot, and in their fury, they storm the Dragonpit, killing several dragons and their riders. This scene is going to be brutal, and here's who we're expecting to die: Prince Joffrey Velaryon, Shrikos, Morgul, Dreamfire, Tyraxes, and Syrax, dragons trapped in the pit. Multiple minor characters caught in the chaos. This event is going to be pure carnage, and it could be one of the most horrifying sequences in the show's history. Expect fire, blood, and absolute destruction. If you thought House of the Dragon was dark before, Season 3 is taking things to a whole new level. From Otto's execution to Criston's brutal ambush, Jace's tragic death, and Helena's devastating end, we're in for some major heartbreak and chaos. And that's before we even get to the storming of the Dragonpit, which is about to shock audiences like nothing else. If Season 2 is about building the war, then Season 3 is about tearing it all apart.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
Alright, House of the Dragon fans, who do you think won't make it out of Season 3 alive? Which death are you most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on all things Game of Thrones. See you in the next video.
War is coming.